Welcome back, English learners. My name is Marco, and I am joined by
Erica.
How are you, Erica?
I'm doing great, Marco, and you?
Excellent. I'm doing really well, and I'm really excited about our lesson for today.
That's right. We've got an intermediate lesson today, and we're going to study some real English.
English that you use every day, right?
That's right. English that native speakers really use.
Exactly. And today, as Erica mentioned, we have an intermediate lesson. And not only is it intermediate, but it's a business lesson.
Yes. So today we're listening in to a sales meeting, and we're going to learn some great, useful English to talk about sales strategies. So we're going to learn English for sales strategies, for making suggestions, and for responding to suggestions.
Great. So why don't we take a look at our vocabulary preview for today?
Vocabulary preview.
So our vocabulary preview is a part of our lesson when we teach you some really important words that will help you to understand the dialogue better.
Okay, great. So that is what vocabulary preview is. We have 2 words for you today, and we can start off by looking at the first one.
Our first word today is drive sales.
Drive sales.
Drive sales.
To drive sales, and that means?
To increase sales.
Right, to sell more.
Exactly. So to drive sales.
Okay, so now let's look at our second word, and it's an interesting one. It's promotion.
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 So Erica, what is a promotion exactly?
Okay, so here we're not really talking about getting a better job, right?
Okay, yeah, not like a job promotion.
No, we're talking about a marketing strategy.
Okay, so I can give you an example. Suppose that I want to buy shampoo.
Uh-huh.
And if I go to the supermarket and I see buy one and get one free.
So that's a 2-for-1.
That's a 2-for-1 promotion.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
That's a sales promotion. Or
perhaps the shampoo in the supermarket is less expensive than usual.
Okay.
Usually maybe it costs $5, but today it costs $4. That's a sales promotion.
Great. So that's a really good marketing strategy.
Exactly. And we'll hear this word in our dialogue today.
Great. So we are ready to listen to our dialogue. It's going to be pretty fast, so it might be a little bit difficult to understand.
But don't worry if you don't understand everything, because later in this lesson, we're going to explain all the important words and phrases.
All right, people, we're holding this meeting today because we've got to do something about our sales, and we need to do it now. I want concrete solutions. How do you plan to drive sales? Roger.
Well, in fact, we're the most expensive in the market, so maybe we need to lower our prices to match the competitors?
Lower our prices. Not very creative. It'll never fly with Swan. What kind of thinking is that? Jeez. Anyone have a better plan? Natalie.
Perhaps a promotion. Maybe a 2-for-1 offer or something like that.
What? That's the same thing. Bad idea. Really bad idea. Damn it, people, come on. Think. The CEO will be here any minute.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Oh, Mr. Swan.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Do we have any ideas yet?
Yes, Mr. Swan, we were kind of considering a 2-for-1 offer to get more competitive.
A 2-for-1 promotion. I kind of like the sound of that. It sounds like something we should consider.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I was thinking. In fact, it's a brilliant idea. I'm glad we thought of that. Very creative.
Okay, so an interesting manager, right?
I don't know about interesting. Maybe I would think bad manager.
We're going to talk about him later on in the show. But now let's take a look at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so language takeaway is the part of our lesson where we teach you the most important words from the dialogue. All these words that we are going to focus on can be found in today's dialogue.
Exactly. So we have 3 words for you today. Let's look at the first one. Match the competitors.
Match the competitors.
Match the competitors.
Match the competitors.
Great. So we have some examples for you so you can listen and try and see if you can figure out what match the competitors really means.
Example 1. We guarantee that we can match the competitor's lowest price. Example 2.
It's impossible for us to match the competitors. Our costs are just too high.
Example 3. Do you think we can match our competitors' prices and still keep our quality high?
Okay, so I see that match the competitors means to be as good as or better than other companies in the same industry.
Exactly. Match the competitors.
All right, so let's move to our second word today for language takeaways, and it is in the market.
In the market.
In the market.
In the market.
We heard this phrase in the dialogue, and it means in the industry.
Exactly. I can say, for example, English Pod is the best language pod in the market.
So, of all the podcasts that teach English, English Pod is the best.
Of course, no doubt about it.
I totally agree.
Right. Or I can give you another example. iPods are the most popular MP3 players in the market.
So, of all the MP3 players in the world, iPods are the most popular. So, let's move to our final word for today, and it is...
It'll never fly.
It'll never fly.
It'll never fly.
It will never fly.
So this phrase sounds a little bit strange.
I know, fly? Are we talking about an airplane here? What's going on?
Exactly, but we're not. So we're going to give you some examples and try and guess what it'll never fly really means.
Example 1. This marketing plan will never fly. It's just too expensive. Example 2.
What? You want to sell bikinis in Alaska? That'll never fly.
Example 3. Brad told me his idea for a film script, but the story will never fly. It's not interesting enough.
So it means it won't work.
It won't work. It's not a good idea.
They'll never agree.
Exactly. Great. So now we've seen a lot of useful phrases and we are ready to listen to our dialogue a second time. But this time it's going to be slow.
So you'll be able to understand a little bit better and you'll be able to hear the words and phrases we were just talking about.
All right, people. We're holding this meeting today because we've got to do something about our sales. And we need to do it now. I want concrete solutions. How do you plan to drive sales, Roger?
Well, in fact, we're the most expensive in the market. So maybe we need to lower our prices to match the competitors.
Lower our prices. Not very creative. It'll never fly with Swan. What kind of thinking is that? Geez. Anybody else have a better plan? Natalie?
Perhaps, a promotion. Maybe a 2-for-1 offer or something like that.
What? That's the same thing. Bad idea. Really bad idea. Damn it, people, come on. Think. The CEO will be here any minute.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Oh, Mr. Swan.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Do we have any ideas yet?
Yes, Mr. Swan. We were kind of considering a 2-for-1 offer to get more competitive.
A 2-for-1 promotion. I kind of like the sound of that. It sounds like something we should consider.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I was thinking. In fact, that's a brilliant idea. I'm glad we thought of that. Very creative.
Okay, great. I hope everyone understands a lot better now.
And I hope everyone could listen out for some of those key words.
Right, so now it's time for us to take a look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So with Fluency Builder, we try to help you increase your fluency. We take a word or phrase that you already know and show you how to say it a little bit more naturally, a little bit more like a native English speaker.
Right, and we have 3 of these words for you today.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first one. Okay, so often students will say something like,
I'll be here soon.
or,
I will arrive soon.
right, and these sentences are correct.
They're totally fine, but I think there's a better way to say this.
Right, and we heard it in the dialogue, so let's listen to what the person in the dialogue said.
The CEO will be here any minute. The CEO will be here any minute.
Okay, so be here any minute. He'll be here any minute. It just sounds a little bit more natural.
Yeah, I think I use this phrase quite often. He'll be here any minute.
He'll be here soon.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's move on to our second phrase for Fluency Builder.
So this phrase will help you to learn how to say I'm thinking about something in a better sounding way.
Right, so you can say something like, we are thinking about a sales strategy.
Or that sounds like something we should think about.
Right, and it's perfectly correct.
Yeah, there's no problem with this.
But in the dialogue, we heard something a little bit different, so let's listen to it.
It sounds like something we should consider. It sounds like something we should consider.
So consider sounds like a pretty natural way of saying it, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I think it sounds really kind of smart.
Yeah, it sounds more formal even.
A little
at
more
times.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So let's move on to our third word.
Marco, you already said our third word.
Oh, yeah, I actually did. Brilliant. That's a great word right there.
Yeah. A lot of people might say, that's a great idea or great. But in the dialogue, we heard another way of saying the same idea.
That's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea.
Okay, so this is great, but I would have to say that it's a little bit more British English.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, but I also think it sort of gives more power to this idea that it's a good idea, brilliant idea.
And it's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready to listen to our dialogue again a third time, but at its normal speed.
All right, people, we're holding this meeting today because we've got to do something about our sales, and we need to do it now. I want concrete solutions. How do you plan to drive sales? Roger.
Well, in fact, we're the most expensive in the market, so maybe we need to lower our prices to match the competitors?
Lower our prices. Not very creative. It'll never fly with Swan. What kind of thinking is that? Jeez. Anyone have a better plan? Natalie.
Perhaps a promotion. Maybe a 2-for-1 offer or something like that.
What? It's the same thing. Bad idea. Really bad idea. Damn it, people, come on. Think. The CEO will be here any minute.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Oh, Mr. Swan.
Hello, Mr. Swan.
Do we have any ideas yet?
Yes, Mr. Swan, we were kind of considering a 2-for-1 offer to get more competitive.
A 2-for-1 promotion. I kind of like the sound of that. It sounds like something we should consider.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I was thinking. In fact, it's a brilliant idea. I'm glad we thought of that. Very creative.
All right, so listening to this dialogue makes you think about this boss. I'm pretty sure everyone has had a manager or a supervisor that's similar to this guy.
Yeah, this boss, Clark, I would have to say he sounds like a terrible person to work for.
Yeah, that's true. If you're a manager, you want to motivate your employees.
I think it's the most important thing a manager does is to encourage his or her employees and to help support them to grow and to be better people in the job. And this guy is totally not doing this.
And you can tell because they are a little bit scared of talking, and he cuts them off with saying, oh, it's a bad idea, give me a better idea, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could never work for a guy like this. You know, my first boss that I had when I first entered the workforce, course. I was in a very junior position and I was working for a large company, and the general manager of the company, he was amazing. He was so encouraging. He knew every single employee's name, first name, and he would, make an effort to stop and say hello and ask them how things were going. And you know what? This left me with such a good feeling about the company that I really wanted to work hard for this company and try my best. And I think that I've never met such a great boss as this guy.
No, I think that's true. Definitely, if you have a boss that's encouraging and motivating like that, it makes you work harder and makes you feel part of a really special team. And that's something we can all agree on, and I'm sure all our managers out there do the same. Well, you know what? I hope some of our listeners log on to our website and maybe they can tell us some experiences with bad managers or good managers, or if they are managers, how they handle things.
Yeah, and hopefully they can use some of these great phrases that we talked about today.
Great. So be sure, everyone, to visit our website at englishpod.com, and where you can find a lot of other information and really good resources to continue improving your English.
That's right. So thanks for listening today, everyone. And until next time, this is goodbye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Catherine. It's really good to be here today. How are you doing?
Hi, Marco. I'm feeling great. Thank you. I'm excited for today's topic because I think it's very useful for many English learners.
Same here. Today, we are talking about sales talk, how to speak in English when you want to share ideas, suggest solutions, and help a business drive sales.
Yes. And just to explain it simply, drive sales means to increase sales, to sell more. For example, if a company wants more customers, they need a strategy to drive sales.
Exactly. And one very common way to drive sales is by using a promotion. A promotion is something that encourages customers to buy. For example, buy one, get one free, or 20% off today only.
Promotions are powerful because they make people feel like they're getting something extra. Even if they didn't plan to buy, they may think, oh, that's a good deal. Maybe I should buy now.
Right. Promotions create excitement, and excitement often leads to more sales. And in business meetings, teams discuss these ideas a lot.
Yes, and when they do, they use some really useful English phrases. For example, we need concrete solutions. This means real, strong, clear ideas. How can we drive sales? Asking for a way to sell more. Maybe we should match the competitors. This means offering similar quality or price as other companies.
Nice examples. And here's another phrase that is very common. It'll never fly. This means the idea will not work or not succeed.
For example, if someone suggests something unrealistic, you can say, that idea will never fly. It's a polite way to say, that idea is not good.
Exactly. So learning these phrases can help English learners sound more confident at work or in meetings.
Yes. And remember, you don't have to speak very fast to sound professional. Speak clearly. Use simple but strong phrases and show confidence.
Right. Phrases like, I suggest, maybe we should consider, I think this could help us drive sales. These are powerful yet simple.
So today, we want to help everyone speak English that is clear, useful, and real-life ready.
Exactly. Let's continue learning and keep improving together.
You know, Marco, something interesting happens in many sales meetings. People have ideas, but they are sometimes afraid to speak. They think, what if my idea is not good? Or what if someone laughs at me? But sharing ideas is important because even a small idea can become something great when the team discusses it.
That's true. And in English, there are some useful phrases that help you suggest ideas politely and confidently. For example, maybe we could try, what if we consider? I suggest that we. These phrases are gentle but strong. They show respect and confidence at the same time.
Yes. And here's a helpful tip for everyone learning English. When you suggest something, your tone matters. You don't have to sound nervous. Speak slowly, take a breath, and say your idea clearly. even simple English can sound powerful when said with confidence.
And when someone suggests an idea, the other person can respond politely too. For example, "That sounds interesting. I see your point. Maybe we should consider it." These expressions show respect even if you don't agree completely.
Exactly. And sometimes we need to say an idea will not work, but we can say this in a kind way. Instead of simply saying no, we can say, "I'm not sure that will work," or "I think there may be some challenges," or "It might not be the best strategy right now." These phrases are polite and professional.
And they help the conversation continue smoothly without hurting feelings. In business, relationships are important. It's not only about ideas, it's about how you communicate. Let's also talk about matching the competitors. This means offering something similar to other companies. For example, if your competitor sells their product at $10 and you sell yours at $20, customers might choose them. So you may need to match their price or offer better value.
Right. But sometimes matching the competitors is not enough. You have to be a little different, a little creative. That's where promotion comes in. Special offers that catch attention.
Yes, promotion is not just about lowering the price. It's about making the customer feel something. Maybe they feel excited, maybe surprised, maybe lucky. And when customers feel good, they buy.
So the key to good sales strategy is simple. Good ideas plus clear communication plus positive feeling. When you mix these together, the result is strong.
And the good news is, English learners can practice this every day. Try using phrases like, "I recommend," "We could try," "Let's consider this idea." They are easy and they help you build confidence.
And confidence grows with practice. The more you speak, the stronger you become. Marco, something I really like in sales meetings is when people learn to support each other's ideas. Even if the idea is not perfect, encouragement can help the person feel more confident and think more creatively.
Yes, encouragement is powerful. And in English, encouragement can be simple. For example, "That's an interesting idea. I see where you're going with that. Let's explore that more." These phrases open the door for conversation instead of closing it.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember that every idea starts small. A great sales strategy might begin with just one simple thought. The team talks, improves it, adds details, and step by step, it becomes a strong plan.
Like a seed growing into a tree. You don't see the result right away, but it grows with time and attention.
Yes. And speaking of growth, companies always want to improve something called customer loyalty. This means making customers come back again and again, not just buy one time, but become long-term customers.
Customer loyalty is extremely important. A loyal customer is like a friend. They trust you, they believe in your product, and they stay with you even if another company tries to impress them.
And how do companies build customer loyalty? They give good service, good value, and they communicate respect. Even a small "thank you for choosing us" can make a customer feel special.
Yes, because business is not only numbers, it is relationships. If a customer feels seen, heard, and valued, they will return.
And that's why learning English for communication is so important. When you can communicate clearly, politely, and confidently, you build trust.
And trust drives sales more than anything else.
So if you're listening and learning today, remember this. Your English does not have to be perfect. It needs to be real, kind, and confident.
Even simple sentences can sound professional when your attitude is positive.
Yes. For example, "Thank you for your suggestion. I appreciate your point. Let's work together on this." These are powerful and friendly.
Business English is not just language, it is connection.
Marco, something else I want to talk about is confidence during meetings. Many learners think confidence means speaking perfect English, but that's not true. Confidence means believing that your ideas matter. Even simple English can sound strong when you say it clearly.
Yes, exactly. And here's a helpful phrase for confidence. I believe this idea could help us. This sentence is simple, but it shows leadership. You don't need big, complicated vocabulary.
And another useful phrase is, let's look at this from another angle. This means let's think about the idea in a different way. It helps the conversation grow instead of stop.
I like that. Also, in meetings, people often need to explain why an idea is good. A helpful expression is, this can help us because, then you explain the reason. Even a short reason can make the idea sound strong.
Yes. For example, this promotion can help us because customers love feeling like they are getting something extra. Simple, clear, effective.
And here's something learners should practice. Tone. When you speak with a calm tone, people listen. When you speak too fast, people may miss your meaning.
Right. So it's okay to pause. It's okay to breathe. Professional English is not fast English. Professional English is clear English.
And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. You can practice with friends, classmates, or even by speaking to yourself in the mirror.
That's a great technique. Also, learning a few strong key phrases makes a big difference. For example, let's consider this idea. I understand your point. Maybe we could try this approach.
These phrases help you sound polite, confident, and professional at the same time.
And remember, everyone listening, you can become confident in English, step by step, word by word, day by day. Progress is real. Every time you practice, you grow.
So keep learning, keep speaking, and keep believing that your voice matters. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can continue learning together.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A real or specific solution to a problem.
Concrete solutions.
Increase sales.
Drive sales.
In the industry.
In the market.
Be as good as or better than other companies in the same industry.
To match the competitors.
Will not work. Will not be approved.
Will never fly.
Something done to make people aware of a product.
Promotion.
Will arrive very soon.
Be here any minute.
Thinking about.
To consider.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
As good as or better than others of the same type.
Competitive.
Make sales successfully.
Win sales.
Plans for a company's sales activities.
Sales strategy.
The process a customer goes through when deciding to buy a product.
Sales cycle.
To sell more than others.
To outsell.
When a customer buys the same brand over and over.
Customer loyalty.
Let's try that faster. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Will arrive very soon.
Be here any minute.
To sell more than others.
To outsell.
Will not work. Will not be approved.
Will never fly.
The process a customer goes through when deciding to buy a product.
Sales cycle.
Something done to make people aware of a product.
Promotion.
In the industry.
In the market.
Increase sales.
Drive sales.
Be as good as or better than other companies in the same industry.
To match the competitors.
As good as or better than others of the same type.
Competitive.
Make sales successfully.
Win sales.
Plans for a company's sales activities.
Sales strategy.
When a customer buys the same brand over and over.
Customer loyalty.
Thinking about.
To consider.
A real or specific solution to a problem.
Concrete solutions.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Drive sales. If we want to drive sales, I think we need to spend more time training our salespeople. Drive sales. The most important thing for us right now is to focus on driving sales. Drive sales. I think if we increase our marketing budget, it will help us to drive sales in the fourth quarter. I expect each of you to come to the meeting tomorrow with concrete solutions for our recruitment problem. Dale, have you come up with any concrete solutions? I'm sorry, but I just can't offer any concrete solutions right now. Promotion. We can't have a sales promotion right now because our costs are too high. Promotion. The department store is offering a promotion. Everything is 50% off. Let's go shopping. Promotion. A 2-for-1 promotion might be a way to attract new customers. We guarantee that we can match the competitor's lowest price. It's impossible for us to match the competitors. Our costs are just too high. Do you think we can match the competitors' quality and still keep our price low? In the market. English Pod is the best podcast in the market. In the market. iPods are the most popular MP3 players in the market. In the market. Our product is the cheapest in the market. Will never fly. This marketing plan will never fly. We just don't have enough money for it. Will never fly. I like that idea, but it'll never fly with management. Will never fly. Brad told me his idea for a film script, but the story will never fly. It's not interesting enough. Be here any minute. Hurry up. The bus will be here any minute. Be here any minute. Nick just called. He said he should be here any minute. Be here any minute. Is everything prepared for the meeting? The CEO will be here any minute. To consider. We're considering a sales promotion. To consider. I think we need to consider a new sales strategy. To consider. Have you considered reducing the price? Brilliant. That's a brilliant idea. Brilliant. This is a brilliant marketing plan. Brilliant. What a brilliant suggestion. Thanks, Roger.